growing up an hour outside of Chicago meant two things for little Taylor. The first, it meant that our beautiful mother could indulge my older sister and I's wildest fantasies of being little children actors. And this kind of started to come to life when I got my very first cereal box ad. I did a national campaign for the post office where I literally just got to color and hang out with a dog all day. Those were some of my favorite things I did. But the second thing that living an hour outside Chicago meant for little Taylor is we could go to the American Girl doll store, and we just absolutely became in love with American Girl dolls. As you can see on the right hand side, we even had our look-alike dolls be in our Christmas photo one year. It seemed like we couldn't go a holiday, a birthday, anything without either getting a new accessory or a book or clothes for our dolls. My sister and I, we loved them so much. If you're not familiar with the brand, there is dolls for a ton of different decades or moments in history, and they all had different historical accurate stories that went along with them. So they're educational, and when you combine educational items with toys that just kids absolutely love, it was a win-win situation. So our parents definitely indulged us in this hobby of ours, as you could say. Now, since we were going into the city all the time for commercials and auditions, it meant that we got to go to the American Girl doll store, which was heaven on earth on Michigan Avenue. Now, in the middle floors that you see, that was where you could buy the dolls, you could buy all their accessories, you could get your hair done just like your doll's hair. It was amazing. On the bottom floor, there was a theater, and since we're little actors, my sister and I wanted nothing more than to be in the plays and productions that took place at American Girl doll store about the American Girl dolls. Well, our mom kind of talked to us about if we wanted to pursue that, we would have to be homeschooled. We decided against it. And then the top floor was the American Girl doll cafe. Now at the cafe, whatever meal you got, your dolls got the same meal, just in miniature form, and it was an amazing time. Since my sister and I didn't want to do the theater, the next thing we thought of is, okay, we've got to get on the cover or inside the American Girl doll magazine. Now, this magazine, it was amazing for diversity. The stories it covered wasn't just look at all the cool items you could buy for your doll. It was things like how to throw the best sleepover, what to do if you have dry skin. I learned about my period in the American Girl doll magazines. I learned how to braid my hair. These magazines were amazing. And so I was so excited when my sister's hard work finally paid off and she landed a cover for the American Girl doll magazine. Right away, we were so excited. My mom was like, yes, we're going to do it. And of course, you can't take one daughter to the American Girl doll store and not the other. So I begged and begged and begged for my mom to take me out of school that day too so I could tag along, which wasn't abnormal for us by any means. However, that particular day was Ash Wednesday. Now, if you are not a practicing Catholic or just need a little refresher, Ash Wednesday is when at Mass, they have palm leaf ashes and the priest does the sign of the cross on your forehead. So it's kind of one of those holy days that you're not really supposed to miss Mass for. And growing up, we went to all Catholic schools, uniforms, went to Mass 2-3 times a week since I was in kindergarten all the way through high school. So my mother was a little apprehensive at first to take us out, but she was like, you know what, you can't look at these cute little faces and not let them go to the American Girl doll store. So the morning before the audition, my sister and I were running around and playing in my mom's room, and I don't remember exactly what was said, but as my sister was running out the door and like going into the hallway, she looked back to yell something at me, and she smacked her head right into the door frame of my mom's room, and she ended up getting this huge welt. My sister's crying, I start crying, my mom's freaking out, we're already running late, so she gets ice bags. We put her in the car, my sister holds that ice pack all the way there. I think halfway there the ice pack melts and she puts wet wipes on her head as if that was going to do anything, but we get there on time, everything's fine. There is no broken skin, no blood. The only thing is she had a giant welt. Honestly, she looked a little bit like a Neanderthal, which is hard to picture because look at Morgan's cute little face there. Well, we went to the director and we're like, obviously no problem, right? You can just put makeup on it, you can Photoshop it out. And that is where we learned that the American Girl doll store, the brand as a whole, wanted to project body positivity to young girls, which is amazing, but that meant they did not do any makeup. They did not believe in photoshopping. So unfortunately, my sister's day in the sun was turning into using the back of her head just like this. I believe the director had to call corporate, and they had to call another person, and this and that. And on the 11th hour, they finally got approved to put some makeup on my sister's forehead. But unfortunately, the damage was done. 90% of the photos were taken. They had positioned my sister where you just saw the back of her head. We were so ecstatic when the magazine came out, and they did use one of the photos that included the front of her face. And I wish I had that photo now. My mom's home digging through all of our buckets of things we've done, and crossing my fingers that she'll find it so I can share with you. But it was just, we were so excited that at the end of the day, it all worked out. And honestly, I applaud the American Girl doll store for wanting to stay so true and authentic to young girls. It created a amazing positive image for me growing up.